can only miss shots in 4 different ways. That's left, right, short, and long. But just because you're missing in 4 ways doesn't mean you're only making 4 mistakes. Honestly, if it was that easy, we'd be closer to Steph Curry, and we're nowhere near him. We are probably making hundreds of different mistakes as we're going through our shooting motion. How do we avoid making hundreds of different mistakes within our shot? We want to simply master the fundamentals. I'm Coach Meech, and in this video, we're going to go over a shooting checklist to take your shot from this to this. And at any point in this video, if you want access to a 100% free shooting workout, just click the link in the pinned comment below. So I am left-handed, but that doesn't matter because all these fundamentals apply to you guys, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. Now let's dive into step 1, which is proper preparation. A lot of players skip this step of having that proper preparation, and they end up setting themselves up for all kinds of misses and air balls. I love to tell my players that you make shots before you shoot them. This refers back to that proper preparation thing. How can you expect to make shots if your body is not in the right positions? How can you expect your teammates to want to swing you the ball if you aren't looking like you are ready to shoot? Here go a few common mistakes that I see players make all the time when it comes to having poor preparation. The first common mistake I see in most players is when they're standing off the ball, they have their hands by their side and they're watching the action going on. So they're not even ready to receive the pass. What you want to do is make sure you have your palms to the passer, showing your person the target hands. Now when you get the ball, you can actually flow into your shot a whole lot faster because your hands are ready. Our second mistake kind of flows into our first one. You guys are standing straight up. So you can be wide open in the corner, you're standing straight up, knees are locked out with your hands by your side, so you are not ready to shoot. What you want to do is get nice and low with your hips dropped, hands ready, so when you receive the pass, now you can flow into your shot and you're a whole lot more prepared to make your shot. The third mistake I see players make all the time is waiting for the ball to come to them. So they get nice and low, their hands are ready, but as the pass comes, they're waiting for it to get to their body, so when they catch it, they just fire it to the rim. What we want to do is meet the pass. So we can meet the pass in 2 different ways. The first way is if we're standing wide open and they're just swinging us the ball, when the ball comes, we actually want to extend our hands out and go after the pass and then be able to get into our shot. So we don't want to wait for the ball to get to us. We want to meet the ball with our hands and then get into our shot. The second way we meet the pass is we run through the pass. So as we're moving, the ball comes to us, we want to run through the pass and then get into our shot. We don't want to stop short, and as the ball comes to us, we wait for it. We want to run through it and then get into our shot. So a great drill to work on you getting prepared with your hands ready and going after the basketball is getting nice and low. You want to start on the elbow. All you want to do is roll the ball out to yourself. You want to run through the pass and try to get all the way to the opposite elbow and then get into your shot. This is helping you meet the pass with your hands and running through the ball at the same time. A variation to the same drill is you want to start in the middle of the free throw line this time, roll the ball out, back pedal away, meet the pass with your hands, extend your arms out, pull the ball in, and then get into your shot. Now that we have you in the correct positions to take and make more shots, we're going to dive into what it takes to actually become a more consistent shooter and skyrocket your shooting percentages. The next thing we're going to dive into in our shooting checklist video is hand placement. Where we place our hands on the basketball can completely change our shot. It affects accuracy, arc, and rotation. So the first common mistake I see when it comes to hand placement is most shooters like to put their hand in the middle of the basketball, but then they put their guide hand too low. So when they raise it, now their hands are too close together, and that's really uncomfortable. The second common mistake I see when it comes to shooters and hand placement is they like to put their shooting hand on the side of the basketball and their guide hand on the other side, so when they go to lift it, now you're going to be forced to shoot with 2 hands at the same time. Third common mistake I see when it comes to hand placement is shooters like to put their hand on top of the basketball, so now when they go to raise it, now their hand is behind the ball. This can affect your accuracy and your touch. What you want to do is have your hand behind the ball as much as you can, so now when you go to lift it, your wrist is underneath the ball, so now you can get underneath it and get that right arc. So a great drill to work on you getting your wrist underneath the basketball is a one-hand hop shot. What you want to do is get set up nice and low with your heels on the three-point line. From here, you want to put your shooting hand underneath the basketball, your guide hand behind your back. You're going to take a 2-foot hop forward. From here, you're going to push the ball up, twist your hand underneath, making sure your hand gets underneath the basketball, and then you're going to shoot the ball towards the rim. You want to make sure you're not just twisting and just turning and throwing the ball at the rim. You want to make sure you actually get to your set point and then have a firm wrist flick. Hey, real quick, if you're finding any value in this video, just click the link below in the pinned comment and you'll get access to our free ultimate shooting checklist. In this shooting checklist, it's not only just a step-by-step recipe, but you'll also get the exact drills, sets, and reps to help cement your perfect shooting form and then dial in that pinpoint accuracy. Just pop in your name and email and get instant access. Now that we have you prepared to shoot and we have your hands in the proper place, now we can dive into the next most important part, which is your shooting motion. So the quickest way to derail your jump shot is by having choppy movements within your shot. So that could be anything like having a weird hitch into your shot or having the ball move in different directions, going behind your body or anything like that. So we want to make sure we can lock in and master the fundamentals. Your jump shot should feel smooth and effortless to you, and the best way to achieve that is to be as simple as possible. You want to get rid of any extra movements that you might have in your jump shot. This way you can repeat it every single time. So the first common mistake I see in jump shots that cause that choppiness is you letting the ball get too far away from your body. So as you get low, the ball goes too far away from your body, and then you have to pull it back to your set point. So you want to try to create as much vertical energy as possible. So you don't want to jump up and have the ball go away. You want the ball just to go straight up with you. So as you're low, you want the ball to go first, pushing up. Now everything is going up and towards the rim at the same time. The second common mistake that I see that causes a choppy jump shot is the person lets the ball get behind their body. So if the ball lifts and the ball gets behind their body like this too high, or they let it go behind their head like this, now they have to pause the ball from going that way and then get the ball to going forward. You want to keep the ball in front of you at all times, so now the ball can just go up and then towards the rim. If you watch Kyle Anderson shoot, you'll see how he pushes the ball away from his body and then he has to pull the ball back to his set point. A good drill to address this issue and to correct it is to get right in from the ball and to get nice and low, setting the ball on your shooting side leg. All you're going to do is roll the ball up, getting that wrinkle into your wrist. From here, you're going to move the ball up, not letting the ball run into the wall. So now you can perfect the ball moving up and smooth, just like this. The last part to our shooting checklist is probably the smallest detail, but might be the most important, and that's making sure your wrist gets underneath the middle of the basketball and you have a firm wrist flick. When it comes to getting your wrist underneath the basketball, this is how you get that perfect arc. So once you get your ball to your set point, you want your wrist underneath the middle of the basketball. Now from here, you can push up and through the middle, pushing through your elbow. Now you can follow through towards the rim and the ball will go straight. The reason why you want your wrist underneath the ball is because now you can actually get the ball to go above the rim at that right height. If you get your hand behind the basketball at your set point like this, now you're more than likely going to shoot a flatter shot, but you also run the risk of having the ball sit more on your palm. What you want to do is have your wrist underneath the ball, so now it actually sits into your hand better and you can push up, giving the ball the correct arc that you want it to go through. You can study every great shooter in the NBA and I guarantee you they're all going to have their wrist underneath the basketball. Some might have a slightly turned out elbow, but you're definitely going to see their wrist is underneath the middle of the basketball. They're not going to be on the side like this. The reason why is because we want to shoot the ball as straight as possible. So when we go to flick our wrist, with our wrist underneath the middle, we can push through the middle of the basketball and we're going to have a firm wrist flick, controlling the height of the ball and the direction of the ball every single time. So a great drill to work on getting your wrist underneath the basketball and getting that correct arc is you want to get underneath the hoop. You don't want to get all the way underneath to where your head is underneath the net, but you also don't want to back up to where you're almost in front of the rim. You want your nose right underneath the rim. From here, now you can get your wrist underneath the basketball and then shoot straight up. This drill works on you being able to get your wrist underneath the ball so you can create that arc, but when you shoot with a firm wrist flick, this is going to allow the ball to go up and over the rim at the same time. Okay, so you made it to the end of the video. Now I'm going to give you a few drills to help you put it all together. But before I do it, make sure you like and subscribe and then comment down below, goodbye air balls. So our first drill that we're going to get into is our one position drop. So you're gonna stand nice and tall. You're gonna have that ball straight out from you. So from here, you're going to drop. So your feet are going to lift up off the floor. As your feet lift, you're gonna pull the ball in. So it's standing nice and tall, feet lift off the floor, you drop nice and low, pulling that ball in. From here, you wanna focus on moving the ball up as best as you can and as smooth as you can, not pushing the ball away or anything extra. So it's standing nice and tall, drop fast, and then push the ball up and then get into your shot. So with our second drill, what we're gonna do is get nice and low with your feet wide as well. So what you're gonna do is first go between the legs. Once you go between the legs, you're gonna wrap the ball around your back. As the ball is going around your back, you're going to lift both feet up in the air and then replace them underneath you. As that's happening, you want to bring the ball right to your middle. From here, you're going to get into your shot. This drill is challenging your hand speed and your hand placement. So as you're getting low, you want to go between, wrap as fast as you can, replace your feet as fast as you can, then get into your shot. So if you've mastered this checklist and paired them up with the drills in this video, you will see a massive improvement to your jump shot. But also, if you want to make shooting off the dribble a breeze, just click the video below.